Hello, my name is Yuping. I'm Charlie's mom. Today I'm going to read you a book called Amy Wu and the Perfect Ball. This is a book by Kat Zhang and illustrated by Charlene Chua. So what is bao? Bao is a food, a little bit like bread, but it has other food inside it, like meat and vegetables. It's pronounced like a bao. Yeah. And there's actually, the author has a note here. Growing up in Mandarin speaking family, I always said bao zi instead of bao and pronounce the word differently. But the Americanized pronunciation is usually bao. Okay, bao. So we're gonna talk about bao today. So, uh, Amy, this is our main character, Amy. Amy can do a lot of things. Uh, she can brush her teeth. She can tie her shoes. She even do both at the same time, sort of. And so, but there's one thing Amy cannot do. She cannot make the perfect bow. Sometimes they come out too small. See, a little ant is carrying the bow, and sometimes they come out too big. You can't even hold it in your hands. Sometimes she adds too much filling. Okay, we go this direction. Sometimes she has too much filling, so the stuffing is coming out. And sometimes not enough. Look at the cat is digging and digging, trying to find the stuffings from the bowl. And sometimes they fall apart before they reach her mouth. And Amy's mom and dad make perfect bowl, so does her grandma. Their bowl are soft and fluffy and so delicious. So Amy wished she could make that kind of bowl, but Amy could eat them all day because they are so delicious. Sometimes she does. And look at this do not disturb sign. Okay, so today Amy is going to do it. She's going to make the world's most perfect bowl. Bowl making is an older event, so um, Amy made a very perfect plan. This is called a perfect bowl plan. Amy's dad starts in the morning mixing together the ingredients for the dough. Okay, let's next page. Okay, let's get to the next page. Uh, so this way. Then it's time to knead. He pushed the dough. She punched the dough. Boom, boom. Amy gives it a try too. And then they leave the dough to rise. Amy keeps an eye on it just in case it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. What's next? So, next, Amy's dad squished the dough down again just in time. He rolls it into a log and cuts it into small pieces. And then, in the meantime, Amy's mom seasoned meat for the filling. She need to use garlic, pepper, salt, and ginger and mushrooms. A lot of stuff in the filling. And next, everyone gathers around the table and rolls up their sleeves. It's time to get work. So Amy's first bowl turns out a little funny. She couldn't close it up. So does the second. So what's next? And then it's hard to know how much filling to add. Too little and the bowl is sad and empty. Too much and whoops, the filling falls out. It's also hard to pinch the bowl shut just right. Pinch, 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 and sometimes you still can't pinch it close. Okay, so next. Amy watched her mom make a perfect bow. She watched her dad make a perfect bow, and her grandma too, a perfect bow. So everyone made perfect bows. They all tried to teach her. Roll out the dough like this, says Amy's dad. Use just enough filling, says Amy's mom. Pinch, 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 says Amy's grandma. So everyone is trying to teach her. So let's see. But Amy's bowl just aren't the same. They are either too empty or too fat. They have holes in them and they leak. Well, maybe today won't be the day after all. Maybe today wouldn't be the day that Amy makes a perfect bow. Maybe Amy just can't make a perfect bow. So did she give up? No. So Amy has an idea. The pieces of dough were cut for grown-up hands, but Amy's hands are very small, right? We can see it here. She whispered her idea into her grandma's ear. And Amy's grandma cuts each piece of dough into two smaller pieces, Amy-sized pieces. Now they fit perfectly in Amy's hands. Okay, next page. Carefully, Amy rolls the dough so it's thicker on the inside and thinner at the edge. She adds just the right amount of filling. She pinch, pinch, pinch it shut. And what happens? And there it is! Amy's perfect bow. Amy is so happy. So now everything is done? Not yet. She makes another and another and even more after that. She's a bow making master. And then next step, soon all the dough and the filling are gone. Everyone is tired, but they are not done yet. Amy's grandma boils a big pot of water. It's time to steam the bow. Okay, and what's next? Amy keeps an eye on the steamer just in case all her perfect bow and all the imperfect ones too are snug inside. And the bow are down. Amy's mom lifts the lid off the steamer. Whoosh! Out comes a puff of steam. Amy can't see anything at all. What do you think is happening? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Well, the steam clears. There are Amy's perfect bow. They are not too small, they are not too big. They have just the right amount of filling and they do not leak. They are soft and fluffy and so, so delicious. And Amy eats one, then another. Then she eats one of the not so perfect bowl. And you know what? Do you have a guess? Well, it tastes just as good. And Amy is now sharing all the bowl with all her classmates. And at the end of the book, we also have the recipes for making the perfect bowl. So when we are all recovered from the coronavirus, friends, we can share the recipe and maybe at some point we can all make the bowl together. Okay, thanks again for listening and see you next time.